7 months ago, we decided on our Mount Rushmore of video game characters, but today we do it again, this time with a twist, as we decide on our Mount Rushmore of video game villains. Let's find out who makes the cut on the Late Night Gamer podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, and I'm joined tonight, as always, by my co-hosts, Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Yep, happy to be back. Always like when we do these Mount Rushmores of sort of different genres and stuff. So yeah, excited to see which villains pop up. It was a tough one for me. There wasn't as many as I thought there would be in terms of selection, but hopefully you guys pop up with some that I forgot about and we can debate on.
And we're also joined by our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Yes, hello everybody. Lovely to be back as always, and really looking forward to this one. And also, I share sort of Andy's point in that this was a tougher one in terms of research. Wasn't in terms of finding video game villains. I found lots of those, but in terms of what would make a Mount Rushmore, that's where I think the interesting debate is going to be. And there were a couple ones of games that I haven't played, so interested to see sort of what we come up with. I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as on the movie side, which is going to make it a really interesting conversation.
Yeah, so for anyone new to the podcast, we've done a few of these. I think maybe just one on the gaming side where we did most iconic video game characters. So definitely go and check that one out if you haven't. And on our movie podcast, we did the same thing. I think we did movie characters or TV show villains.
We done horror
ones. Yeah, I thought we did horror villains.
Horror characters,
iconic horror villains.
Right. Horror villains,
Something
yes,
like that.
you might be right.
Yeah.
I'm sure we did something else as well.
We probably did. I
We
think we've done a
probably
couple of
Yeah,
Mount
we've
Rushmore
definitely done a
ones.
few of these, but
We've got a series, so go and have a look. That's your research to the listeners. Find out how many Mount Rushmore ones we've done.
so today is video game villains. So obviously we cannot pick. Well, I guess villains could have been in the iconic character category, but they ended up being more the hero side of things. So it's all about villains today, and obviously there's, as you say, there's lots of villains, but not that many that maybe make a Mount Rushmore. But I've got a good amount on my list that I think all deserve at least talking about. Then we've got to talk about which characters are allowed to be there, because you've got stuff like characters that are iconic in other mediums, which we're going to get onto soon. So there might be villains that are iconic on the TV or on movies or on comics. So should they be on a video game list? That's debatable. We'll see. If we struggle for a list, maybe we'll do it anyway. I guess I'll go first because I've got the most on my list. Otherwise, you two are going to run out very quickly. I'm going to start with one I think has to be there, or I think I will make a case that it should be there. And that is General Rahm from Gears of War.
I knew there's going to be someone from Gears of War that you'd throw out there.
So obviously it was a toss-up between Rahm and Queen Myrrah. I wasn't going to go with Scourge from Gears of War 2. As cool as he looks, I don't think he's as involved. And Rahm's introduction is amazing. His boss battle's good. Queen Myrrah is in all three games, technically, so you could argue she's more important. But I just feel like Rahm's presence and his introduction is just too good to ignore. And go on.
Sorry, is Ron the one that you fight at the end of Gears of War 1 on the train?
Yeah.
Is that... Okay, yeah. I mean, his boss battle is incredibly challenging, so to speak, because you kind of feel...
Weapons.
Yeah, but also I like that. I like the fact that most of the enemies up to that point are quite easy to navigate through, and then the game presents you with a real challenge. It might be easier depending on the weapons that you've got, but even like the look and the fact that he can kind of change, you don't quite know where he is. Yeah, I didn't actually. That popped out of my head, and that's bad because I've only recently played Gears of War 1 again in Reloaded last year. Is he? I can't remember like the sequels. I haven't played them in so long. Is he a main stake throughout the series?
No, you killed him in Gears of War 1. Spoiler for anyone who played Gears of War 1.
Well, it's obviously a boss fight at the end, isn't it?
Well, it might have come back.
Unless you die at the end.
He doesn't come back, although there is a DLC in Gears 3 called Ram Shadow.
That's what I was thinking.
Because he is a fan favourite villain, he's like... I think you ask any Gears of War fan, he would be the one, although we've got a viewer, listener comment in a minute, which we'll go against that argument. But I think the vast majority would pick Ram. I wouldn't pick anyone from Gears 4 or 5, that's for sure. Or Judgment, we don't talk about that game. It's between him and Queen Mirror in terms of a Gears of War list. And for me, I think majority would pick Ram. I would pick Ram. The way he introduces himself to the game, where he just walks up to one of the main characters, and just kills him straight away, lifts him up by his neck and just stabs him. It's like, oh shit, you're
Yeah, we're not messing around.
you mean business.
You're someone that you don't want to mess with. I was about to say something, but I'm going to stop myself because I'm going to make myself wrong. Like, I was about to make a point. I'm going to argue against my own point that I was about to throw to the table in saying, is he as iconic because he's only in one of them? But for a lot of the video game villains, that rule will apply to them in the fact that they're in one entry, depending on how they meet their end, if they do.
Yeah,
I've got about half and half of mine. Half of mine are in multiple. Half of mine are individual. I mean, I'm going to put him on for now. I think he might stay, but if we decide that there's someone more iconic, I just think Gears of War is an iconic franchise, and I think of Gears of War, I think of Gears of War 1 first, and I think of Ram.
When I was looking into Gears of War, because obviously it was one I was thinking about. Obviously, Queen Myra, or whatever, however you pronounce the name, was one of the main ones that I remember from playing the games. But obviously, I'm not as fresh in terms of playing them as you are. But most the main, when I was like researching the main villains from Gears of War, the main thing that popped up was actually just the Locust in general. So would you maybe consider that? I know it's not like a specific character.
Well, then that leans more towards Ram though, because Queen Mirror is technically human.
Yeah. Yes.
So General Ram, I would argue, is the leader of the Locust.
Yeah, but then you've got other generals as well, haven't you?
Yes, you've got the ones from Gears Tactics. I can't remember his name. You've got Scourge. I just think he's the weakest of the three. But I would definitely say Ram is the one. I know what you mean by saying Locust,
for sure.
but that's like saying, we had the argument on the horror one where we said the Smile from Smile. Do you know what I mean? It's like similar-ish argument, not exactly the same. I'm gonna pop him on, and if we get rid of him, we get rid of him. Although it's not going to work now for me, is it? There he is. He's just taken up most of the screen. Andy.
No, I think he's a good one. Yeah.
Who are you going to
Who do I go for? Okay, I'm gonna obviously, like I said at the start, this is a lot harder for me in terms of actually having a big list to choose from, just because a lot of the games I either haven't played, or there's a lot of games where there isn't actually like a main villain or standout person. For example, like Split Fiction, the main villain in that, I think we spoke about in episodes before, where not like the best villain, good story, not the best villain. Even like Uncharted, a great story, no like crazy main villains for me that stand out. So there's a lot of games like that I've played where I don't think the bosses or the main villain of the game is particularly good. So I'm going to go for a game that I have played recently, and there's a lot of villains to choose from. But it's Boulder from God of War.
Okay.
Obviously, I won't say too much about his character, because I know Steven still wants to play it, but his introduction in God of War from the get-go sets his character up, and it then makes every single encounter that you have with him throughout those games like absolutely crazy, because you're thinking you're Kratos, sure, this powerful god, and you've shown your strength, and he comes in and absolutely fucks you up straight away, and you know at some point you're going to come across him again in the game, and you're like, what the hell, what's going to happen? So it's just that build up. It's intense. Every moment that he's in the game, there's like a bit of comedy to the way that he is as well. The way that his character, his personality, I think is quite funny. And his encounters with Kratos, although he has that funny side to him, you still like fear him, and you're like thinking, how am I going to beat him? Because he jumps straight in, beats you up basically, and then obviously goes. But I think when I think of God of War, he's the one that stands out for me. Obviously, there's a lot of great people in that game, characters, but I think overall he's the main villain for me, especially in the first God of War.
Yeah, I had down I say I had 9 people down. I had 9 games down. So for this one, I had Odin slash Baldur.
Yeah,
Obviously Odin being more Ragnarok, Baldur being more obviously the first game.
yeah.
For me,
I,
I'd accept Baldur. I mean, for me, Odin is more the big
he's the more main overall villain, I'd say.
and
But I feel like
go on.
he's more like, for me, he's more the character that plays the mind games with you.
And I love those mind games. And that big twist at the end, I will never forget it.
Yes, yes. It was tricky. Like, it's not easy to choose
Mm.
between them. But I just thought, like, Baldur starts God of War off. Like,
The
that's what
introduction is
kickstarts it all.
unbeatable. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like one of the best scenes ever to a video game. And then obviously his presence throughout that game. So, but yeah, if someone said they want Odin, I wouldn't disagree. I particularly like that actor as well who plays Odin in the games.
Mhm.
So yeah, he does that role well as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was really close to me. I mean, for me, I like the twists and turns of Odin, and I like that he's quite unassuming. He looks like an old man with an eye patch.
Yeah,
He's not this big, massive guy, but you don't not fuck with him. And when Thor is scared of him, you know there's something up here. Like,
yeah,
so I like that side of it. I like those villains who are calm and like precise and have a
yeah. He
plan
definitely
and blah
has
blah
that.
blah. Balder's much more erratic, um, trying to get
Yeah,
shit done.
which makes him.
But then you actually feel
Yeah,
sorry for him. I think a little bit at the end when you understand why he is the way he is and whatnot. So I'm happy to
yeah,
go
yeah.
Balder.
Potentially, he's just a bit more unpredictable as well in terms of what he's going to do.
Yeah, problem with Balder because I was going to put Balder on the thumbnail. I can't find a picture of him with like no background. Everyone has got background on. I will do that, but while I'm looking for that, Stephen, who would you
Yeah.
suggest for Mount Rushmore?
I actually, when I said I had 4, I've now thought of another one as we've been speaking, but I want to save that one till later because that's more iconic than anything. I'm going to start with, and I can't work out which one I want to lean towards, so I thought I'll throw both names out there and maybe we can decide as a three which one we'll go with. I'm going to the original trilogy of Modern Warfare, so COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and I was trying to work out whether to go with General Shepard from Modern Warfare 2 or Makarov from Modern Warfare 3. Does Sakai think COD 4? No, I don't think he has much of an impact. Obviously, I know that he sets the motion for the nuclear attack that kind of kicks things off in COD 4. But I felt like General Shepard for me, I remember when I played that, the fact that he murders two, and I won't even spoil it, I mean, we've all played it.
I think you're
still,
fine.
I
Yeah,
feel I thought if I say spoilers for anyone that hasn't played Warfare 2, but if you've not played it, where have you been for like the last 15 years? He murders Ghost and Roach and is the mastermind pulling the strings with Makarov. He also is essentially the man that sets up the No Russian sequence, which is thousands of innocent civilians that get shot to pieces at an airport. And you could argue Makarov also being there, but Shepard was sort of the first major twist in that series of games that I didn't see coming. And also that iconic moment in that final showdown in Rust when you throw the knife and it takes his eye out. Like, I feel like that's a moment that everyone remembers. I mean, I remember when you're in the massive Juggernaut suit in Modern Warfare 3 and you kill Makarov through the hotel as he falls through the roof. But I feel like Shepard is a bit more evil, because he was kind of controlling multiple people and he murders multiple allies in Modern Warfare 2. I know Makarov kills Soap, I believe. I'm trying to remember
In
from the
number 3,
original
yeah.
trilogy. Yeah, so you could argue that that's also a moment that tips Makarov. But like, I don't know what you guys think. If you think either of them should be there, or if so, which one is
I had one of
higher?
those things down on my list, and it was General Shepard
You had
because
Shepard. Yeah.
it's just I like remember that scene when I remember being so shocked at it when he just like shoots Ghost and Roach, and it's like fucking hell, like did not see that come in from anywhere. And that sticks with me. And like you said, the scene with the knife as well when you throw that. It's one of the main scenes that sticks with me from COD, and it is because of his character. So if I'm going to choose between those two, it would be General Shepard.
I mean, when I was thinking about General Shepard, I was also making like the same sort of notes in arguments for Makarov, because in Modern Warfare 3, Makarov basically kicks off World War 3 by attacking New York, London, Paris, and Germany. But I feel like it's General Shepard's plan from the very beginning that Makarov just takes over once Shepard is killed. So you could argue that actually the man pulling the strings, Makarov's the puppet, and Shepard is the man that is essentially controlling everything. In terms of that villain, because also we're talking about Mount Rushmore, like who's the more evil? Who's the mastermind? Like you would, I know I haven't played God of War, but it sounds like you're talking about the person that is behind everything. Because you have in video games, that's what you do in movies, you get villains, but then you get the main one that is putting everything together. And there's another game that I'll get onto, which I have a similar sort of argument.
I'm not the one who's going to put forward a COD game, so I'll leave this to you two if you think they deserve to be here, because I've got so many others that I would put before Call of Duty personally.
Yeah, true. I think just in terms of icon, I mean, we're both aligned with General Shepard. We could put him in for now. If he was not on this list, it's not one that I'm like madly passionate about, to be perfectly honest. But I still think that, you know, Call of Duty is one of the highest, you know, selling games of all time. So I think if it was on this list, I don't think people would be like, what the fuck, you've got General Shepard. I feel like he would be up there for a lot of gamers, I think.
Interestingly, we have gone for all of the people so far that aren't the overall villain. As in, like you just said, Makarov is the main villain. Odin is the main villain of God of War. We didn't pick him, we picked Baldur. Queen Mira, or Mara, whatever, is the overall Gears of War villain, but we picked Ram. So it's like their underling is the number one.
But would you say Makarov's the main villain in
I can't remember. I don't remember them much.
I think in Modern Warfare 3, yes. But in Modern Warfare 2, it's General Shepard, and you learn a lot that he.
But that's like saying Gears of War 1, it is Ram, but Gears of War as a franchise is Queen Mira.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
Modern
true.
Warfare as a series is Makarov.
Yeah, same in like when you think of like heroes, Captain Price is the one that everybody remembers in terms of like iconic heroes. Yes. Yeah, well, but I still think. Not going handy, no. And that wasn't a dig from the last podcast we had. But I just, when I had to do a bit of research, so it's been a long time playing it, but I do remember that General Shepard lays the foundation, but isn't regarded probably memorably. It's more of the memorable set piece. And you even alluded to it where you said that scene sticks in your mind more than anything that Makarov did before or after.
You two have got to stop picking people that I can't find background list people of, because this is very difficult. I think I found one, but it doesn't look very good. People, please just accept this, that he's gonna have to just do.
Yeah, that's all right there.
There we go.
One day we'll get modern technology and money where you can actually put it into the Mount Rushmore face. When we've got millions of people listening to us.
That's brilliant.
This looks like I can't lie. This looks like a pretty weak one, but I think that's because the pictures are crap. Okay, I want to chuck one out there that I think has to be there. Bowser from Mario.
I knew someone was going to say it.
He is. We're talking about Mount Rushmore here, iconic, and he is in every Mario game. He is so good as a villain that they know he's going to capture Princess Peach, and they still can't stop him from doing it because he does it every fucking time. And he keeps coming back for more. He's so desperate to have her. Obviously, we've now got him in movie form, and he was a massive fan favorite in the movie form as well, thanks to Jack Black. I think he's just iconic, and I think he's one of those ones that you like. You know what I mean? He's not a villain that you hate. He's not always doing his kid speech, which is obviously a bad thing. But obviously, this is the kids' game. He's all the way back from the original Super Mario Brothers. You jump over him on the bridge and stuff like that. I just think he's image-wise. You ask people that don't play games, they'll know Bowser.
Yeah, it's a bit like Mario. Like they know who Mario is.
You know Mario, you know Bowser.
For the Mario games. Yeah.
Welchy, can I throw a count? Not that I'm saying that we shouldn't have him in, but can I throw another one which kind of is similar to an iconic villain? Because the other one that came into my mind was Dr. Eggman from the Sonic franchise.
Oh,
I knew.
Who is in every single one. So, what one would you say is the more iconic? Because I think you could
I'm
say the exact same argument because obviously it's Jim Carrey, isn't it, who is in
yes,
the movie?
Yeah, in the
movie?
movies. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
every Sonic that I've ever played,
yeah.
Dr. Eggman is always the enemy. I was trying to think of in Shadow the Hedgehog, they do something different where he's working for somebody. It's like a godly sort of figure, which I can't remember the name of. But it's still Dr. Eggman at the heart of everything that's going on. So I thought
I'm
that'd be
happy to have
interesting
both
debate. We can
because
have both. Yeah,
they are the two probably most iconic,
yeah, I
They
would say
are,
that.
but
and there's still more
like
I
for
want to
me,
check out as well.
like for me, I just haven't played Sonic since I was a kid, so it's hard to say that he'd make my Mount Rushmore
He wouldn't make my personal
because
one, no.
yeah, it's just tricky because like even the same with Mario, like I don't really play Mario too much now. The movies probably more with Mario and even Sonic, so it's like it's tricky for me to say
The, the
should they be in
problem
Mount
is
Rushmore.
I actually would be inclined to put both of them in. I know obviously that they could easily get chucked out by ones we put in, but the reason why I say that is that yeah, I've not played Mario and Sonic for a long, long time, but they stay in my memory. They're etched in my memory. The look, what they do, are both Bowser and Dr. Eggman. Even in like something like Mario Kart, Bowser has the kind of feature where you're like you're a dick, even though in a racing sort of setting, he still holds that enemy sort of feeling away from the Super Mario Brothers games. Um, so I would be inclined to put both of them in for now. I think they're definitely both meet the iconic category.
If we put them
They're
both
both
in,
iconic for sure.
someone has to go.
I mean, I'd
Mm,
happily because it's my suggestion. You can take General Shepherd out and put both of those in.
I feel like Andy doesn't want both of them in.
I mean, if you
it's
don't, I
just
don't mind. I don't mind one.
it's tricky because I think like yeah, they're iconic for sure. No one will ever forget them. But how much have we recently encountered those villains? I know you play more Switch, Welchy,
I say I
so
have a
you're
lot,
more likely to,
yeah.
but you haven't played Sonic,
No, true,
so
but they will keep occurring. They will always be there. They make a new Sonic
Yeah.
game,
yeah. But
Eggman will be
is
there.
that what we want to choose our Mount Rushmore on? Where is like when I think of villains and the ones I want to sort of chuck forward, they're more intimidating. They're more when they come into the scene, I'm like thinking, oh fuck, here we go, sort of
So
thing.
name another one of yours then.
Well, it's from a game called Expedition 33,
Yeah,
and
Renoir.
obviously, yes. So like straight away, he's and I won't spoil anything, but his introduction to the game, something big happens pretty much straight away, and you think, "Fuck!"
Yeah, that
Like,
is again
and you,
an introduction like Border.
yeah, I would probably even say even on a higher level in terms of what he actually does, but
Hmm.
in that moment, but like every time he comes onto the screen when you're playing, you just get that like goosebump feeling, thinking, "Oh fuck, this guy's unkillable," and at some point we're gonna have to do something. And it's just his presence, like it's like, especially with the game and the atmosphere, it's like dark. Whereas like games like Sonic and Mario, they're all like happy, colorful, bright. It's like I get that iconic villains. I'm not going to
Yeah.
argue that for sure. But is that what we're choosing our Mount Rushmore
I
on?
mean, what are the specifications for Mount Rushmore? Are we going with actual icons in video games, or as you rightly said, the intimidation, the fear, how they make you feel as a player, or are we
So
going for a bit of both?
when we did it last time, the title was most iconic video game characters. So we had to
Yes.
pick iconic.
Yeah,
Hence Mario made it.
yeah,
This time it's just Mount Rushmore of video game villains. There is no
Yeah.
we've not specified it as iconic. I guess if you look at the presidents that are on the mountain, which I've now covered up with villains, but they must have been meaningful, impactful presidents. I don't know. I'm British. I don't know.
yeah.
My
I think so.
US history.
They're like the presidents that made a legacy to like
Yeah,
America State, something along those lines.
they're important to America, so they have to be important, I'd say, to video games, which again then lends towards Bowser being in. Um,
Or Dr. Eggman, just throwing that there. But I feel like you're more inclined to go Bowser. To be fair, like Would you say?
I think Bowser's
if I'm
more
being
iconic.
I'd choose Bowser. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I wrote down Renoir, Andy, obviously being a
Yeah.
massive fan of the game as well. There's obviously we've got to be very, very careful not to spoil things, but there's the argument that is he a villain really?
Yeah, and obviously I've done more research like into that as well, and a lot of people would say, like from what I saw, people say yes. At least, yeah, that's what I got from like the online community, which is why I decided, because obviously we did have that debate on whether we thought, overall, is he that character that you think he is or not? But yeah, in terms of what he still does, it's
At the end of the
still
day, he's just
very
trying to help his
much.
family.
Yeah, but does he do it in the right way?
Exactly. So it's all up in
Does
the
that
air.
make someone a villain though?
Yeah, it's all up in the air.
I think
Exactly.
the other thing that I would say, I mean, obviously I've not played Clair Expedition, but I would say that because of it being like Game of the Year and such an impactful game of like the last 12 months, a villain in that game probably would be worthy of going into Mount Rushmore, because you're talking about a game that's really sort of everyone is talking about it and it's so popular. But obviously I haven't played it, so this is down to you guys on whether you feel like that. But I don't. If the person that you're talking about doesn't necessarily lean towards like out and out villain,
He's definitely
then
a
I
villain.
don't.
Like the majority of the game, he is the villain of the game.
But it is what he's doing. Is he doing it for the right reason, even though he's a villain?
Right reason, wrong way probably is the way to describe it. Which you could say about a lot of villains. Like
True.
Thanos is trying to do well, good by the world, but he does it in a very bad way.
But I would feel like the villains that we've got on screen right now are like
Pure evil.
out and out. Yeah. Is this person pure evil? That's the only thing that I'm. I love debates.
Again,
like
it can be down to
interpretation
perspective and people's opinion on it. Some people say yes, like he shouldn't have behaved that way at all, and obviously he does certain things which you'll be like, as soon as someone does that, there's like you're not a hero, you're not a good guy, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
So like for me, especially like you say with it being Game of the Year, the atmosphere of the game, the good thing about certain villains, like with Bowser, he's like a recurring character, like you said, Welchy. So it makes it like easier to like put him in because obviously he's in all the Mario games.
Yeah.
With certain characters like General Shepherd or Balder or whatever, they're limited to what they get in terms of games. But that wraps up their story. It concludes it, which again is, if you remember them from one game or two games,
like
then I think that's more impressive
as well.
General Ram,
that's a good point, because I guess the main reason I'm thinking Bowser and you're thinking Eggman is probably because they are recurring, they're a constant, and they keep coming back, and we enjoy them coming back.
Yeah.
But we don't think they're, at the time, you're not thinking this is an amazing villain. You're just thinking, we've got to stop Bowser. Like it's not like we're intimidated in any way.
Dr. Eggman did make me cry back in the day, but that was only because at the boss battle when I was playing Shadow the Hedgehog, and I got the bar down to the very last bit, and then it killed me, and then it went back to the beginning, and then I got sent to bed because I ruined dinner by crying so much and being angry about dying in the boss battle. I was like 7 at the time. I just want to add that it didn't happen like last week, but you're right. They're not intimidating. It's fun. Where I feel like these, General Shepherd, there's not a single part of what he does that you find fun or endearing. Like both Bowser and Dr. Eggman are quite endearing in their own sort of way. Is that the guy? Is that what he looks like? Jesus.
This is Renoir. I added Renoir to the list because
he looks like a villain. I haven't even played it.
You made a good argument, Andy. I think we've got to not just
maybe we should do
that's been recurring all the time,
Maybe we should do a separate topic. Villains from kid games or something. I don't know.
Or like iconic. Change it and actually throw in the iconic tag.
But again, is Bowser and Eggman iconic? They're iconic because of Mario and Sonic. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, they're not iconic on their own right.
They all work together. Yeah.
No. Can I throw in one that I feel like we can really get our teeth stuck into?
Resident Evil.
Because you left me with a food for thought, and I do have a food for thought. Again, this is one where I can't quite work out which one I want to go with. So I'm going with Resident Evil 7 Biohazard for sure. I can't work out whether I want to pick Evelyn or any of the Baker family. And I know I see Andy's going to play this. We need to be very, very mindful
That's
of.
absolutely insane to me. There's no way you pick Evelyn over the family. Evelyn being the girl.
Yeah, but I can't say what I want to say because it will ruin the. But think about what Evelyn is, what she actually does in Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, fine,
The Baker
but
family on the surface are terrifying,
yes,
absolutely.
yes,
But Evelyn, that's all I'm saying. That
yeah, I get it, but I couldn't describe what she looks like other than the Grudge. Like she just looks like the Grudge to me in terms of
yeah,
like a look and stuff. I think for me, I wrote down Jack because
is he the first one you meet at
the dad,
the
the
dinner
dad,
table?
yeah,
Oh yeah, fuck me.
because
Yeah.
he just shit me up, chasing me around that
He did.
house constantly.
Yeah.
Hated it, loved it, but hated it because he would just whistle and stuff and like
I
just
I
terrified. And he
think
kills
though.
the policeman straight
Yeah.
there. What you call it? Shovel to the head. I just think he's so intimidating and scary, but also funny in a way.
The, the problem that I had with the Baker family is like I couldn't actually pick
It should really
which
be the
one I
family as
wanted.
one, yeah.
Yeah, because you've got is it Charlie? It's the son.
I can't remember
He
his name, yeah. He's the least of
the
the
way,
three.
the way that he like speaks to you at the dinner table, and he the way that the camera goes into his eyes, and you're like, right, stop making me look at this guy, and then it goes over to like the mum, and you're like, fuck, like all of them have their own part of horror. That sequence where you're running through the house, and then all of a sudden he goes away, and then just jumps out with that like massive axe. Yeah, it is terrifying, but I just think what Evelyn does just eclipsed because essentially, again, I don't want to. It's really hard not to say what I really want to say, but you get what I mean. It and Evelyn is terrifying. That boss battle at the end is absolutely jaw-droppingly scary because of the fact that she orbed from one place to another. And I know you're saying that Dad does the same, but that boss battle is freaky towards the latter stages of the game.
I just did not see that at all. Like
You didn't find Evelyn scary at all.
no. I think I
Okay.
just loved the first half of the game so much more than the second half.
Yeah, no, that's true.
There's a bit. Yeah, I would lean. I personally, looking at the list we've got, wouldn't put any of them on here. And I'm someone who would put anyone above Commander Shepard. But even that, I think your case for Shepard is better than Resident Evil 7 because, like you say, I understand your argument for Evelyn over the family. I'm only kind of picking the family because I love the game and
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified of them.
Don't get me wrong. I'll be clear. Like I would be happy. Say if we were doing like our own one, like having both or one or the other. Nothing is gonna bother me. I just lean more towards Evelyn because of the story. I'm looking at from a villain perspective. If you're talking about what has the long-lasting impact, it's the family, 100%. But I did
Yes.
find Evelyn creepy. But then I found the whole experience of Resident Evil. So people said that they loved the first half more than the second. I just loved all of it. All of it was a nerve inducing, taking you to the very edge from start to it. And I didn't feel actually relief until the credits rolled at the end of the game. But equally, I agree with what you've just said. General Shepard is probably a better argument in terms of the villain side. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of Resident Evil Village as well with like Lady Dimitrescu, but again, that is more iconic. She's not.
She's great,
It's not
but
nerve.
her ending's a bit shit for me.
Well, also the bare bolts of like her as a villain is you're playing hide and seek against her. Doesn't really cut sort of like her look is incredible, but it's more of a like a I hate to use this word, but like a camp villain setting, and that's why I didn't go towards Village at all because a lot of the villains are quite pantomime
Yeah.
in the way that they deliver. There is one which I wouldn't even argue is a villain, but in that psychological aspect, yeah, maybe.
Yes.
But I didn't feel like that. That's just a set piece. It's a brilliant set piece, but it's a set piece. It's not like a long lasting moment that takes you across the game. It's probably just the moment in Resident Evil Village where I was like, oh my fuck. It's kind of what I want Requiem to be all the way throughout. Because if it is, Good luck, Andy. But yeah, in terms of Resident Evil villains, I don't know if there's any others from like the previous games that you were
Uh,
thinking of.
I had Mr. X down from Resident Evil 2, but again, I was just terrified of him. It was more of that than I think he is iconic in his own way.
Yeah.
I think if you asked the majority of Resident Evil fans that have played more than we have, they'd say Albert Wesker. I'm not in a position to say him because I don't. I saw him in
I
Resident
don't.
Evil 5, but I haven't played enough of the games to be able to pick him.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't even know who he is until you've said that now. So
but I think we stay away from that one. So the other one I had, I've got more, but it's Portal.
I knew Paul was going to come up. Yeah.
Um, and I'm not going to pick the one from Portal 2 because mainly because I don't want to spoil things because I want you two to one day play those fucking games. Um, so I'm going to pick GLaDOS from Portal 1. And I would put her on my list. I can understand if you don't want a puzzle villain in your list, but my argument is it's a robot, a robot that is taking you through these puzzles. And at the beginning, she's just taking the piss out of you. She's just saying you're rubbish at these puzzles. Like, why are you so slow? Why are you not
yeah,
being able to do this? And then she basically leads you through these puzzles, and then you realize she's leading you to your death.
yeah,
And then you obviously escape your death, and then she gets like, "Oh my god, I'll come back. I didn't mean it." Blah blah. It's really her. The writing is hilariously funny. There's a whole thing called "The Cake Is a Lie," which that's all I'm gonna say. It's just so good. And then the actual boss fight is really clever as well. She's iconic. She's got a song which is iconic. Um, I can understand having not played it. You two be like, "There's no fucking way GLaDOS makes this list."
I mean, is
Yeah,
she?
it's hard to choose someone when we haven't played it.
Yeah,
But when Portal did pop up a lot when I was like looking into games,
Yeah.
just to like jog my memory, Portal came up so much. So
In the
obviously people think she's one of the main
in the same
villains. So
breath,
yeah.
I mean, when you were making your argument, I was like, okay, yeah, it's all great, and then it kind of got let down when you said it's hilariously funny. Is
but
that what you
that's
want from a villain on Mount Rushmore, or is that the point? I mean,
she's
I haven't played it,
it's a
so
robot that wants to kill you, but it's
But it's
funny
using
about
trying
it
to
by
outwit you.
yeah,
Yeah.
outwitting you, making you feel like shit, making you feel like you're rubbish at these puzzles. Literally, you're on your way to your death, and then she's like, "Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Come back. Like, I promise I won't kill you." It's that kind of thing. Like it's
right,
obviously
okay,
going to kill you.
yeah.
Um,
And to be fair, like I'm not talking about this. I am a little bit with horror video games, but like with horror movies, that sort of nervous laughter where you're not laughing because it's like comedy funny. You're laughing because it's like you're a bit on nervousness. You're like thinking, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to bait me. So you're saying it's kind of that sort of
No,
laugh out loud funny
I
in
think
that sense.
it's not like
no.
horror though. It's just
How did you get that from what you
No,
said?
I meant that as an example. I meant like when you say it's hilariously funny, not in sort of it's trying to outright make you laugh. It's just in the manner of the
I
writing,
think
and
it
because
is with like more sarcasm by what Welch is saying in terms of what
it's
she's saying in terms of like she's trying to trick you
it's a comedy.
by
It's not meant to
being
be this
yeah.
intimidating General Renoir villain.
right,
It's meant to be a
okay,
clever villain. And it is a very clever villain, and the one in Portal 2 is very clever as well. It's more the abuse she hurls at you, the mental abuse you get from her. Um, I feel like I'm really batting at this very badly, and you two are not
I'm not sure
not
this
No,
batting
no,
gets
this.
anywhere near the list, but personally, but
without obviously playing it, it's
It's
hard
tough,
to
yeah.
agree with you. By what you're saying, it sounds like it'll be a fun game to play, and I can
So
imagine
good.
those like scenes where like you are messing up a puzzle and she's there just like mocking you while you're doing it, sort of thing. And then not actually knowing that she's the villain of the game until you get to a certain point, probably as well. And then thinking, oh, actually, she's actually trying to lead us to our death by doing these puzzles.
Yeah.
So all this time she's mocking you for doing it wrong. She's wanting you to do it right so she can kill you. But yeah, I can see the comedy side to it. But without playing it, it's hard to actually see her
Yeah.
above the ones that we've chosen based on us obviously playing the experience. So
So the only other one I had then is Joker, which falls into the argument of actually I had one more after that, but Joker being easily if you just forget about everything else, he's easily on this list. He's one of the best villains in
I
games
will.
easily.
I haven't even played the games, and I will allow it because again, the Joker popped up a lot
Yeah.
when I was reading, and the main thing that people said was because of Mark's
Performance,
performance
yes.
as the Joker cements him as a good Joker, and if it's got that uniqueness to it because of him, then you can make it different to the films
I
or
personally would
comics,
say
rather.
he's the second best Joker in any medium. Not including the comics. Like in terms of any movie, show, or game,
Who's first?
Heath Ledger.
Come on, Stephen.
Yeah, okay. No, fair enough.
Clearly Heath
Do
Ledger.
not try to
Yeah.
argue that. That's a
No,
whole
no, no.
debate.
The thing is, like when I was playing Arkham Asylum, and you see Mark Hamill's Joker walking into the asylum, there was a part of me that is still to this day where I'm like, if there's one person that could push Heath Ledger to the absolute
It's the
edge,
closest anyone will ever come to Heath
it
Ledger, I
it
think.
would
Yeah.
be Mark Hamill. I think because of his legacy and for the fact of obviously, he's no longer with us and the work that he put in. Not saying that that's the reason, but you have to take that into consideration. Like the performance in The Dark Knight is outrageous, but what Mark Hamill does in Arkham Asylum, it's like when you play it, you'll understand. Like generally,
He's
where
amazing.
there were parts where I'm like, what Joker is better? I am against it. The only reason I'm against it is because of that whole. He's in the Batman the Animated Series, and he's brilliant in that. He obviously takes it to the Arkham games, but it's not like if Mark Hamill was the only one that had been in the Arkham video games, but nothing else. Absolutely, but he is in the animated series, and he stemmed from that, and they just took that and put him in the game. So I don't think it quite makes the list personally, as much as I would be happy to have him there. That's my main kind of defense
It's a
for
good
that.
point about the animated TV series. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's a
Because
good
you've got
point.
Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. So like
Yeah.
people say like Kevin Conroy is the best Batman. Yeah, he's brilliant in the Arkham games. And wasn't it he did the Suicide Squad as well? 'Cause that was his last. Was it his
No.
last? No,
Who?
there was some. Kevin Conroy
Oh,
was
the
in. I
game.
swear.
Sorry, the game.
Yeah, in the
Sorry.
game. Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
yes,
After
yes,
he's in Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League,
yes.
which a bit I've played is not great, but him being there, that voice is. I would say that he is the best Batman voice. It eclipsed Christian Bale for me just because he's so iconic. But again, he stems from the animated series and not the video game, and I think that's. Yeah, if you're both happy to put him in there, then I'm outvoted. But I personally wouldn't.
I haven't even played the games. I just obviously I like the Joker, so and I like Mark because of Luke Skywalker, but it would be leaning towards whatever you guys think, whether he should be in there or not. Like he's obviously a good villain, and they wouldn't have used him if they didn't think he was a good villain in the games. So
Yeah.
you've got
See,
arguments for and against it.
one thing that I would also outline, which you could lean, and again, I feel like in this podcast, I'm kind of arguing against myself. But again, I like being the devil's advocate in looking at both sides. In all of the Arkham games, like Arkham Asylum, Joker is the one at the heart, pulling the strings in Arkham Asylum, allowing all of the other enemies to come in. In Arkham City, the same. He is kind of at the forefront. You don't think he is until about halfway through. Again, in Origins and in Arkham Knight, even when I won't go into
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
major because it's a major spoiler because I feel like Andy at some point you need to go back and play them. But in Arkham Knight, the duality storyline between Batman essentially becoming the Joker is done so brilliantly and kind of plays with the notion of that person that you've got in your head and just the way that there's a moment in Arkham Knight towards the end of the game where you go through a dream sequence, which is just my jaw is on the floor at what they do. I feel like Welchy knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But again, that isn't an original story from the video game. They've done it in animated series and in comic books. So it's just transcended into that video game format. That's my
But they
only. And
still have to
again,
do it good though. They
it's amazing.
people yeah. People can mess it up, and we know this from games turning into TV shows. They can
Yeah.
mess up those transitions, and if they haven't, and he comes across as a good villain in the game, I don't see why he shouldn't be included. Whether he gets above other people, I'm not arguing against that. But in terms of being reflected, yep.
If you're going to include Joker in this list, which one would you take out?
Shepherd straight away. For me.
See, that's why the only reason is because Gerald Shepherd is a villain, but he's only in one form, and that's Modern Warfare 2, and he is a despicable person. I would say like if we're doing an iconic one, but then I still feel like, is it any enemy that's been in multiple things like movies, TV show, comic, but like I don't know, it feels uncomfortable for me to go down that route. But I'll leave it with you, Welchy, what you think.
Let me read out some listener comments while we're here to give us some inspiration because we need to wrap up in the next 5 minutes.
Can I just also make one more argument then outside of the Joker? The only other one that I had written down was Micah Bell from Red Dead Redemption 2, because he is an awful like enemy. He's one of the most unlikable villains I've ever experienced. Like he double crosses Arthur and essentially sells him down the river, and then you get a fight sequence with him that essentially, depending on what ending, because I know there were multiple endings for the end of Red Dead Redemption 2, but the ending I got infuriated me. Absolutely infuriated me, because the game deliberately goes out of its way to make you lose against somebody that you have spent like, it's a 60-hour game, and for like 25 hours when Micah disappears, you're like, right, I've got to get this guy. This guy's a dick. He's horrible. He's sarcastic. He manipulates Arthur. And then you finally get your moment, and it doesn't happen in the way that you want it. You don't get that moment of rejoice. If anything, you get even more pain. And I was like, yeah, he's probably the greatest villain that Rockstar have ever written.
Yes.
Like he eclipsed any GTA, even LA Noire, to be fair. There's some decent enemies in that, but Micah is kind of at the very top. So that would be my only other one that I would put an argument for.
Micah Bell is one of the characters I hate the most in the world. Like I hate him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't use the C word a lot, but he is that. Like he is that personified times 100 on the Richter scale. And out of all the enemies that I've ever faced, he's probably like definitely in my top 3 most dislikable people you'll ever meet.
My favorite villains are villains that I like, if that makes sense. Like they're likable.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this isn't an argument against Micah Bell. I think it's a good shout. But I also, again, on the other side, like it when I hate them so much that I really hate them.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's like with TV shows, movies. Yeah.
So I don't know who voice acts him, but it's phenomenal. I think it's a good shout. Brilliant. We've got quite a few we're trying to debate here, and I feel like Shepard's hanging on by a thread right now.
I feel like Shepard is in the danger zone right now, literally.
So let's go to listener comments. So Jack wrote in saying Queen Mira from Gears of War, which we kind of spoke about, and we decided on General Rahm. Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2, which I know a lot of people love Handsome Jack. My experience of Handsome Jack was actually in the Borderlands Telltale's game. And I could already see in that why people like him so much as a villain.
Yeah, he's a good villain.
General Shepard, Modern Warfare 2. And for the 4th, he said there was loads, but I'm going to give it to Micah Bell.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
He isn't the main villain, and there are plenty others such as Bowser who deserve it, but boy, did I hate Micah Bell.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that has played Red Dead Redemption 2 got to the end of it and be like,
you can't like Micah Bell.
No, he's so bad.
Bigsy wrote in with the family from Resident Evil 7.
Okay, there you go.
The Joker.
Okay. Oh,
okay.
And then 2. Oh wait. This is weird. He's done 4 games, so he's got 2 from Metal Gear Solid, being Liquid Snake and Revolver Ocelot, and then for Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth. And I know people listening to this podcast, if they've played Final Fantasy VII, will instantly say Sephiroth. I know he's like the best villain ever. I get it. None of us have played it. That's why we've not picked it.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
Maybe one day. It's interesting that he's picked the Joker there. He has honorable mentions of Eggman, Kane from Legacy of Kain, Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2, Bowser, and Team Rocket from Pokemon. I was actually going to say from Pokemon, I wouldn't pick Team Rocket personally, but maybe Gary, your rival in Pokemon.
Yeah.
I just don't think Pokemon's going to make the cut in best villains in video games personally.
Yeah, again, that's similar to Mario in terms of it's a fun game. They're potentially fun villains. Yeah. Plus, it's from the TV show. So, like, if I think of Team Rocket, I'd jump to the TV show first over the game. Whereas Gary
Team Rocket in particular
is probably more likely shout for the games.
Yeah. And finally, JJ Rose wrote in with Vaz from Far Cry 3, which is a fantastic shout.
Yeah, I saw that pop up a lot
Absolutely
actually.
brilliant shout.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I never beat that game to really vouch for him, but I
On my like
completely get why you
list
would.
to play, I've heard great things about not just that game but that villain as well.
Yeah. General Shepherd from Modern Warfare 2, and this one hurts me, Abby from The Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Again, my argument on this one, and I understand why you did that, JJ Rose, but I don't know why I call you JJ Rose. I know your real name. It's just because it's your Discord name. But to me, she's not a villain. And that's what I'm going to leave it as. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
but to me, she's not a villain.
I came into it kind of, I was thinking hard about potentially that, but the game does such a great job of changing your perception of Abby. I don't think you can include, because I still can't work out, like if you said the question, is Abby a villain? It's not a yes or a no answer. It's very up in the air, and I think like you can make a lot of different arguments, which not, you know, if you said is Abby part of like a villain list, yeah, for the action that she takes in Last of Us Part 2, but is she a villain that would be on, like, is she on the same ballpark as like a General Shepherd? No, because but even though she does something terrible,
Yeah, what she does is bad.
what she does is bad, but what has happened to her, you understand. You don't like, but you understand the actions that she took. I know, similar to what you said, like Claire Obscure with whatever. What's the enemy's name? Like
Renoir.
that someone does something bad, but you understand why. And maybe you could argue Abby is similar to that. But I feel like, I know I've not played Claire, but Last of Us Part 2, you spend enough time with Abby to kind of start making you second guess that character, and that's why I feel like probably not for this list.
I think based off what I know from obviously the first game, I haven't completed the second game, and the TV show, you can, if you're going to say Abby is a villain, then you potentially turn around and say Joel's a villain as well for what he done.
I was going to say that. You could easily say Joel is the villain of Last of Us Part 1. He's a murderer.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. He's a
He
murderer.
literally ends by killing all those doctors and innocent people. So
I mean, you could even go even one step further and say that there isn't any heroes in Last of Us Part 1 and 2, because the fact that Ellie goes down the list of vengeance, and you know some of the things that she does towards the latter stage of the game, and that's where I think where I didn't go near Last of Us because of that, and that's not a criticism because the game's a masterpiece for allowing us to think about it in that sort of way.
Because you think there's a villain, and they just take that away from you. Well,
it's one of those games where the more I think about it and the more I discuss it, that's why for me it is like my favorite ever sequel of all time, because the level of thoughts that game gives you is just like nuts, but doesn't quite make our list of this.
I'm leaning towards keeping Shepherd in, and my argument for it is, one, it would be Stephen's only pick on the list. But two, it's also been picked by two of our listeners, being Jack and JJ Rose.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue.
So it's almost like it's not just a listener's call, because obviously Stephen picked it, and Andy, you said it was on your list. So
he was.
Although it wouldn't be on mine, I think as a collective podcast, it should be, because there's been enough good arguments for it.
Stephen's going to argue against his own pick now.
Don't argue against
No. The only thing that I'm saying is about Micah, because we've also had Micah in by, I know, only by one person.
Yes.
But if the more I think about it, the more I'm like,
he's an absolute wanker, but I don't think he's the best villain. Better villain than these four on here.
Okay.
He's a wanker. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
But Baldur is exceptional. General Ram is iconic and exceptional. Renoir, I think in years to come will be considered a great. Obviously, it's very recent, and obviously Shepherd. You've made your reasons, and I fully understand them all. So I'm comfortable. I think this is one of those lists where if this ever did somehow go viral, we would be destroyed in the comments. Absolutely destroyed. Why is there no Joker? Where is Sephiroth? Witcher 3 probably has someone we're not thinking about. All these games that like everyone loves. We're like, okay, whoa.
I do love the fact that I've literally spent half of this podcast arguing with myself, because I'm still now thinking Shepherd or Micah. But Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because otherwise I'm gonna argue myself out of the own pick that I have fucking made. Um, I think it's a decent list though. I think we've covered some iconic ones. I feel like you need more than 4 for this kind of thing. If you
That's
were
why it's
really
good
doing
though,
it
because
like
it keeps
properly,
it tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Maybe I think actually
People are
later
gonna
on in the
think like,
year we have one of our top 10 episodes,
yeah,
and
could
it's
do that.
based on video game villains. So then we'll be able to
Yeah,
do a fuller list. But for now,
Yeah,
we've considered these 4. So if we get to our top 10 one, we don't pick these 4, we're just liars.
yeah.
that
Don't trust a
picture
single
looks
word we say.
nothing like Boulder, by the way. I keep
I know it's the
thinking it's like
best I could
some
find. It's the
some
best
blue
I could
ninja or something. Like, I kept like having to remind myself, like, who's that they put in?
It's the best I
Oh,
could find.
okay.
It is him.
Yeah,
It's his tattoos and stuff. It's just I couldn't honestly. Every other picture was shit.
That's funny. That's
Um,
fine.
okay, well there you have it. That is our Mount Rushmore. Let us know what you thought of our Mount Rushmore of video game villains. What villains would
A
you
lot
have
of fun, that.
chose? Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our Discord using the link in the description to be able to get your messages in before we record our podcast, like Jack, JJ Rose, and Bigsy did. If you enjoyed the podcast, please do make sure to follow, subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of which, next time we will be discussing the casting for the God of War TV show. So you will not want to miss that one. Until then, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co hosts, Andy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And it's always exciting doing these episodes. I can't wait to do more. Mount Rushmore always gives a good debate between us. So yeah, very happy.
And Stephen.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, and yeah, a lot of fun doing these. Great debate, and yeah, slate our thoughts in the comment section below for ones we missed out.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.